Line up in full then, Sastra, Birtwistle, Goff and Bilo off row 1, Hales, Toklove, Dykstra and Sarah row 2, Miller, Mir, Banks and Hurst completing your lineup. Round number 5, the grand final here in the Amman Valley. We missed out on seeing one of these 14-lap pelters here yesterday because of the rain. No such misfortune here today. Perfect conditions. Let's go racing. The top 3 in the championship lining up off the front row. They're under starters' orders. And we're away. Sastra's missed it. Sastra off the pole has missed the start, and it's Gary Birtwistle who's there first to the first turn. Sastra down to third, hits a rut, and they're going either side of him. Bilo's emerged from the pack up in third position. Hales squeezes out Sastra. Sarah's gone with him, and now Michael Dykstra streaming around the outside line as they head into the bottom bend for the first time. Dykstra had nowhere to go. They were 3 abreast in front of him. Sastra then cutting back through. Hales alongside Goff, but gets out of shape. Goff holds on for second place. It's Birtwistle from Goff. Gerard Bilo now past Toby Hales and through into third position. Dykstra cuts up the inside of Sastra coming through for P5. Side by side once again further up. Bilo manages to streak clear now of Toby Hales, and he's challenging on the inside line on Angus Goff as they head into turn 3 and 4. Goff has gone way too deep into 3. Bilo comes through. They're side by side. Dykstra and Hales. Dykstra moves Hales out of the way. Goff's in the wrong place at the wrong time and gets boxed in by the pair of them. Sastra comes past Hales and Goff then. Sastra now goes to the outside line though as Hales passes Goff. Hales will be off in swift pursuit. The number 1 has passed the 41. Gets out of shape slightly and held back by Ferran Sastra. Goff not quite close enough to recover. Frantic early stages of this one. Dykstra now setting up a move on Gerard Bilo. This will be for second position. If the Dutchman can pull it off, that will be absolutely sensational. And in the context of the championship, Gerard Bilo is set to suffer at the hands of Gary Birtwistle, who leads the way. These would be 4 important points gained by Birtwistle, and it'd be a second victory of the 2019 season. The number 11 is streaking clear, and it appears that Dykstra is being held back at this stage of the race by Gerard Bilo. Bilo on the outside line. Dykstra, who favoured that cushion earlier on in the meeting, has now switched his attack to the inside, slides across the front of Gerard Bilo. Bilo will have the inside and the cut back into turn number 3, but Dykstra is a man on a mission here. Started from the middle row of the grid. He's now surging around the outside of our Spanish championship leader. Bilo boxes him out. Through up the inside line comes Ferran Sastra, recovering as this race goes on. We've got a fight on our hands for second position. Hales is trying to go with them. Goff is slipping back. We've got a separate race further down the order. Dykstra cuts back off the bottom bend. It's Sastra who holds the line. Bilo still holding position though, up in P2. Can this group work together to go after Gary Birtwistle? No such luck. They're swapping paint almost. They're side by side. Off the top bend, they're practically touching one another. Who's going to be bravest into the bottom turn? It's Dykstra through up the inside line. 2 moves in 1 turn, and Bilo cuts back on the inside of Sastra. And all of that dicing between these 3 has enabled Toby Hales to get back on turns. Bilo going for a tear-off as they go into the top bend. Sastra on the outside line. Hales looking for a route through and back into this race. Sastra goes the long way round. Hales once again, they're practically all touching, coming off that top bend. Again, who's going to be bravest into the bottom turn? Bilo is there. Hales is sending his front wheel in. Sastra's going for the outside line. He'll have the momentum coming off turn number 4. He uses it to cut back to the inside line. Can he pass Toby Hales there? Not quite alongside. Hales defends the position. Sastra goes for the inside line, has to back out of it. Hales closed the door, and so Toby Hales starts to consolidate that position. It's Gary Birtwistle who leads. It's Michael Dykstra still in second place, hunting down Birtwistle now out in front. Bilo third, Hales fourth, Sastra in 5th position, but challenging for P4 once again. Ever closing out in front is Michael Dykstra. This race is not over just yet, even if the action further back is starting to settle down. The gap has gradually closed between Birtwistle, who's now looking over his shoulder, and the Dutchman Michael Dykstra, yet to win a round with the DTRA. This could be his best opportunity yet. He cuts to the inside. Birtwistle's going to have to go the long way round, and just at the wrong moment, he loses control of the machine ever so slightly. He's got the cutback though. He's got the inside, but Dykstra powers through. A brilliant ride from Michael Dykstra to hit the front, and given the pace with which he's worked his way through the field, you'd suspect that from here, Dykstra will be the favourite for victory. The top 2 have certainly emerged clear of the rest of the pack, still chasing that place on the podium. Third position is with Gerard Bilo as things stand. It would do his rivals a massive favour in the championship if he could be knocked back off the podium for the first time in 2019. Toby Hales is closest to him, with Ferran Sastre still in the mix as well. And to be fair to Angus Goff, doing a great job from the start and indeed staying with this lead group. Hales now passes Bilo. That's for third position. That could be really important in the context of the championship. We're watching the top two, Dijkstra and Birtwistle, pulling clear out in front. Can Toby Hales now mount an assault on Gary Birtwistle though? It's the pride of the Brits here in P2 and 3. Birtwistle holds second, Hales holds third, and if Hales gets it wrong whilst attempting to pass Birtwistle, Bilo won't need a second invitation. At the moment, this would be the first time he's appeared outside of the podium positions this season. Hales with a drag race to the line, steals second place away from Gary Birtwistle. That move came from absolutely nowhere. Hales was certainly closing down Birtwistle, but I didn't see that closing speed coming off the final turn, and Toby Hales has nicked it away. But it's Michael Dijkstra who becomes the 8th different winner in the DTRA's history here at Amman Valley. Toby Hales, after a run of 4 consecutive wins, is denied, but it's a second place for Hales and another of his best results of this 2019 season. Back-to-back podiums for Hales, but the celebrations are for Michael Dijkstra, the Dutchman who missed the 3rd round of the season, who came back with a 4th place here yesterday and a first victory in the Pro Championship for Michael Dijkstra. 1.5 seconds his winning margin. There was no doubt about who had the pace in that one. Hales nicks it by 70 thousandths of a second in the run down to the line, ahead of Gary Birtwistle, who takes 3rd, and Gerard Bilo just a little bit off colour, but that's all it takes at this level to be off the podium. Bilo and Sastre find that out to their cost. Angus Goff, with a career best result, takes a well-earned 6th position, ahead of Frank Serra, who rounds out our lead group of 7 riders. Gary Birtwistle, 3rd position in the grand final here today, but having finished top of the heat points, you were the favourite for victory. Do you feel like the win slipped away from you today?
A little bit. When Dijkstra came past, I knew he had the pace, so I was happy to let him go and not fight to the death. Didn't want to drop it trying to win that race, especially because Dijkstra is a little bit further afield in the championship, so that was all right. But second would have been nice, and a bit gutted that Toby picked me to the line. Yeah.
Toby Hales, your winning run in grand finals around this circuit comes to an end, but nonetheless, once again you've beaten the Spaniards, once again you've beaten Gary Birtwistle. It's a good result in the context of the championship.
Yeah, definitely. The way the heats were going, it didn't look too good, but luckily we had a final to make things happen, and especially beating the Spanish and Gary. It couldn't be better. Michael isn't too bad in the championship. He's not beating me, so it's the main thing.
Michael Dijkstra, you've been with us for a while now, and finally your first pro victory after your first pro podium around the same circuit last year, so you must be delighted.
Yeah, I still can't believe it. It was just a very high level in the pro class today. And this is just my kind of track, a half mile of cushion. That's just, it's still unbelievable.
You were very unlucky yesterday. You had a puncture when you were out in front and an opportunity to take a race victory. You picked up a race victory in the heats today, and then you backed it up, but you didn't do it the easy way. Talk us through that final, because you had to work your way through the field.
Yeah, I thought the last side, on the outside, on the start line was the best, because my line is outside. But after a couple of laps, I saw so many humps in the outside of the turns, so I was in 2nd position after Gary. I thought I'd just take the inside, just let it roll to the middle of the turn and on the gas, and see what happens.
So Toby Hales' last-ditch overtake on Gary Birtwistle means that the number 11 trails by 11 points with 2 rounds remaining in 2019. But he does break 3 points clear of Ferran Sastre, who slips to 3rd. Toby Hales and Michael Dijkstra closing on the lead trio. They will benefit in turn from the dropped round rule, and certainly the lead quintet breaking away from the rest of the field. 2 rounds still remaining. Our red car return we make next month, and don't forget September's season finale at the Greenfield Oval. Neither are to be missed.